How many bankruptcies does it take to build back better? With Joe Biden's signature blend of malign neglect burning up the economy, the U.S. court system just released fresh numbers on bankruptcies. They are not good. In fact, one analyst, Albert Edwards, called them, quote, truly bonkers. Total filings were up 13% on the year, hitting over 430,000 cases. Corporate bankruptcies soared 30% on the year, hitting over 17,000. For major corporate bankruptcies, it's the highest tally since the 2008 crisis. Note, this is all before the recession hits, whether it's a soft landing or the hard stuff. And so despite the $8 trillion pumped into the economy with stimulus, which our grandkids will be paying off with interest, companies are dropping like flies. Victims of rampant inflation, ongoing regulatory harassment, and stubborn stagnation in an economy held aloft on a gossamer string of maxed out credit cards and blowing the 401k money on buy now, pay later. Already, defaults on both corporate bonds and speculative grade bonds have tripled on last year alone. And Goldman Sachs predicts there's a lot more to come, predicting a wave of, quote, zombies killed off as debt-laden companies scramble to refinance $800 billion of debt next year and $1.1 trillion in 2025. Even as banks cut back on loans to protect their gutted portfolios of government debt and commercial real estate. New capital rules called Basel IV will make it worse, pressuring banks to lop off another tranche of zombies. Reuters notes the problem is worldwide, suggesting contagion with a tidal wave of, quote, zombie businesses that were just barely holding on with low rates. If they were barely holding on with low rates, they are going off the edge now, meaning either mass layoffs or mass losses to their banks as the debts are written down. Apparently, major banks are already doing a brisk business in debt restructuring, meaning they forgive part of the debt so the borrower can pay at least something. They do this because otherwise the loan goes on the bad loan pile, and they have to tell markets and regulators about it and set aside capital as a buffer. At this point, even the private equity is pulling out, that last refuge of scoundrels, the secret room behind the cash register where money can be had for a price. Note, all of this is happening with a global credit crunch already hitting governments. So I mentioned in recent videos how federal debt service is soaring because new debt is so much more expensive than old debt that was incurred during the easy money days. Of course, governments can get all the money they want. After all, they're bidding with your life savings, generously fortified by an unlimited money printer in the basement of the New York Fed, meaning government will still get the money, but there won't be much left for the companies or the consumers whose dwindling savings are holding the whole thing together with bubblegum and baling wire. So what's next? Brought to you by Unchained. We are coming into a perfect storm for bankruptcy, stubborn inflation, spreading stagnation, strangled banks, and nervous governments scrounging the couch cushions for every last dime. It will get worse as the recession unfolds, soft or not. Okay, we'll be watching. See you next time.